Hi, my name is Erin Benincasa, or as my students like to call me, Miss B. And I'm here to tell you why I'm so excited to be an English teacher. I love being an English teacher. And part of that is because I wasn't always the best student in English class. I had a really hard time learning to read and to write, but I had teachers who really encouraged me. And so this is what drives me as a teacher. I love figuring out what motivates my students to learn. So sometimes that's their career ambitions, sometimes it's their hobbies, sometimes it's their friends, sometimes it's just something that's interested them on the play yard that day. But I love pulling that into my lessons, into my classroom, to figure out what's going to motivate them to get better at the skill that they might not be great at right now, but if they worked really hard, that they could get to that level that's going to take them where they need to go. So finding out what motivates my students is the first thing that really drives me as a teacher. The second thing that I love to do as a teacher is I love to make my lessons fun. So I really believe that learning has to have levity. It has to have some fun, some sense of ease, of comfort, because our brains learn better when they're relaxed. If we're all too stressed out, we forget everything we learned in the lesson anyways. So getting that sense of comfort with English, getting that sense of being relaxed around learning a new language can be really hard. And so I try to make my classrooms as fun and as joyful as humanly possible. So I never plan a lesson without thinking what it's going to feel like. That brings me to my third point. My third point is that English is about communicating. And it's not just about communicating actions or things or objects or places. It's about communicating your emotions. And so I do spend a lot of time as an English teacher as well emphasizing context and emphasizing the different things that play into language. So sometimes that's your pace. Sometimes it's your tonality. Sometimes that would be your gestures. Sometimes it's the context, so the place that you're in, the people you're around, the hierarchy between the people that you're around, and how that might influence how you would say something, whether you would say it fast or slow. So understanding language contextually, understanding that language is primarily about communicating and connecting, gives my students that sense of fluency, and then it brings us back to that place of comfort where they know they're not going to get into an interaction with someone and be able to say all the words but not get the message across. So I always hope to get them to that place by the end of our time together. So that's what drives me as a teacher, figuring out what motivates the students and tailoring my lessons to them and to that. Having fun, always smiling and being happy to see my students and making sure that they feel comfortable in my classroom. And most of all, making sure that they have the skills that they need to communicate fluently and to understand language contextually and to understand the tools in their toolbox, like tone, like speed, like gesture as well. So that's what makes me as a teacher, and I hope to meet with you soon.